Hi everyone, it's Ben here from Somerset Foodie, bringing you another instalment of a delicious creation made by some of our fantastic ingredients. So it's kind of towards the end of the summer. We've all been missing festivals and all those brilliant kind of long summer music events. So we've got a classic festival dish, but it's also an extremely famous dish from Thailand. So we've got pad thai. So we kind of got illusions of the Koh Sam Road in Bangkok and all those brilliant street vendors. So we're going to show you a brilliant, simple way of creating a wonderful pad thai for at home for your family. Really simply, just using a few simple ingredients. So I'm just going to bring the camera over and we'll just go straight through the ingredients to start with. So you can't have pad thai without rice stick noodles. Really, the only choice you need to make is whether you go 5mm, the slightly thicker ones, or 3mm, the slightly thinner ones. So you've got rice stick noodles, you've got pad thai sauce. So really the kind of main flavours of pad thai are tamarind, palm sugar and fish sauce. And they can be a little bit tricky to get those ratios right. So what we've got is a brilliant ready-made sauce that's got all those ingredients in, to make life simple for you. So what else have we got? We've got some beautiful raw prawns. They don't have to use raw prawns. You can use cooked prawns, or you can use chicken if you want. You can leave the prawns out altogether. Now, this gives it a real authenticity. If you're on that Koh Sam Road in Bangkok, you'll see them adding tofu into pad thai as well. So I've used our tofu, which is a firm tofu. So you really want a firm or extra firm tofu for this dish. So I've got also some peanuts. So don't use dry roasted peanuts. Don't use salted peanuts. You just need to use a plain blanched peanut that we sell. I've roasted them off in the oven a little bit and then just crushed them up. So that's just a plain peanut, and that's a classic. You can't have a pad thai without peanuts. We've got bean sprouts, we've got egg, I've got some chives and coriander. Again, if you don't have chives, don't worry about it. Some spring onions I've chopped kind of in a lengthways like that. Again, it doesn't really matter. And lime is really important, and a couple of eggs. So it's a really quick dish to make this. So it's really good, actually, although this is kind of Blue Peter-esque, and everything's ready to go. It's quite a good way to do it because it's slightly fast and furious, this dish. So you don't want to be scrabbling around trying to roast off your peanuts at the last minute when you've got everything going on in the pan. So let's get going. Now, I always use English rapeseed oil for frying. This one is from our foodie heroes, the Fussels, up in Road, just where I am. It's the perfect oil for frying. It's got a really high smoke point. It's really healthy. It's got all those omega-3, omega-6s, so it's a brilliant oil to use. So I'm just going to start out with that in the pan and just get that heating through a little bit. A quick word on the noodles. So these are dry and crispy. What you need to do as the first job really is to soak the noodles for about half an hour, 40 minutes. If you look here, when you can wind them around your finger like that, they're ready to go, basically. So I've got this pan sort of moderate. I'm going to bash the noodles straight in, and it's quite nice to sort of almost steam them a little bit. I'm just going to whack a little bit of water in as well, and that sort of gets us kind of a bit of a steaming thing happening. So what we're doing really at the moment is we're just cooking the noodles and steaming them off, and they'll soften down and cook through, and that little bit of water that I've added, that'll just evaporate off and we'll just get left with the noodles. So I've kind of got the heat moderate. Okay. So once that water, you can see now pretty much the water's basically gone. I'm going in with my pad thai sauce. So in we go.
So that's the curry mix.
That's the curry mix pad thai sauce. And I have to say, I've known Monica, who makes these sauces, for years, and she is a genius. She just has a brilliant way of blending spices together, and she's all about the flavour. So we're going to carry on cooking those. Now, this is the choice, okay? I'm using it, you'll see I'm using a flat pan here. You'll go, why is he not using a wok? You know, you can use a wok, but the way that you cook pad thai is you have different things cooking in the same pan at different times. So I find it a bit easier. So I'm now just going in with my eggs. So I'm going to get them cooking, and I'm going to have them cooking on one side. I'm just moving the noodles over now, and I'm just going to let those eggs cook. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit more oil, just on that bit of pan there, because that is I'm going to cook the prawns in here. I'm just going to move that egg over like that. The prawns go in. The smell is amazing. So the prawns and the tofu all go in. And at this point we can just turn the heat up a little bit now, because we want to basically we're sort of trying to just stir fry. Get that bit out of there. We're just stir frying the prawns, so I'm just going to give them a second or two, so you just have to bear with me. Right, the eggs, what you've got to do is make sure the eggs are cooked through, because you don't want to effectively kind of create something that binds all the noodles together. So
you wouldn't want to put a loose egg into the noodle dish.
You wouldn't want a loose egg in there,
no,
because you'd just end up with a sort of kind of, I don't know, noodle cake kind of thing going on, which wouldn't be ideal at all. So now those have cooked a bit on the bottom, what we do now is we break the egg up, and using our spatulas, and when you see them on the Kosan Road, they tend to have two, and we're making a sort of scrambled egg. So that can just sit over on the side. And these prawns are getting a little bit of colour. I'm just going to keep the heat reasonably high. So you just want to try and get a little bit of colour, if you can, on the prawns and the tofu. So that's sizzling away nicely. So whilst that's doing that, I'll just get my other bits and bobs ready. So I'm going to be on standby with the bean sprouts and the spring onions and the peanuts.
What are you going to serve it all in?
Yeah, I'm going to serve it in a little bowl that I haven't got, so 2 seconds. I'll get my bowl ready. Right, let's move those around a little bit.
Does the tofu break up quite a bit when you...
It can do. I mean, ideally, you don't want to move it too much. I've maybe moved that a little bit too much, but those prawns are done nicely. So, okay. So we're just about at the point now. The prawns are cooked through. We've got a little bit of colour going on. Now, this is where we turn it into now stir fry. So all the bits are cooked, so we can kind of chop our egg up and start stir frying it all together with the bean sprouts in, the spring onion,
What's that?
and
Peanuts?
the peanuts. So in we go. This is the sort of final stages now. So it's quite good to get your second. And all you're really doing now is we're just getting to the point where we're just really warming up those bean sprouts. And that is almost ready.
How high is the temperature under that pan?
Yeah, it's pretty hot, so you want to keep the temperature reasonably warm.
So you're almost dry frying it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oil in there.
That's fine. We don't need lots of oil.
Okay.
So that's done. So what we'll do now, make a bit of space. I'm going to finish off with my little garnishes of the chives and the coriander.
So you've not added any salt or pepper into that at all?
No.
All the seasonings?
All the seasonings in that
the pad thai
sauce. Yeah, yeah.
Are you posting this ingredients for this recipe on?
Yeah.
on our
So
blog?
everything's on. So this is really. I mean, there's enough here for two. I basically cooked pad thai for two. So, but we'll just get our bowl here, and we'll just put a nice bit in. Put a few prawns on the top. And we're done.
That's great.
So let's just bring that over here. So there we go. So we've got a classic Bangkok pad thai with prawns, tofu, and the curry mix pad thai
And
sauce.
you're going to squeeze that lime.
Oh yeah, we are going to
Very
squeeze that
important.
lime.
Last.
Gosh, well done.
Flavour.
Nearly forgot that. The lime, I think a good couple of wedges of lime is critical.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Yeah, that's amazing. Perfect.
Okay.
All done. So thank you for watching, everyone. And yeah, if you want to order any of the ingredients that you've seen here, just go to our website, www.somersetfoodie.com. There's a really nice new website, so you can click on all the ingredients, add them to your basket. It's pretty simple. So see you next time. Bye.